Hey guys, check this out. No markers at all. Creality's latest update is here. A Creality Scan 4.2 plus new firmware for the Samoon S1. The best part, you can scan in cross-line laser mode without needing the markers. So basically, the scanner shoots out infrared dots to track things instead of using markers, and the high precision camera takes care of building the point cloud with the cross laser. When you scan in laser mode with markers, the scanner knows exactly where it is and how far it is from the surface because it's calibrated against a fixed distance on the calibration board. Basically, once the scanner picks up those markers you set down, it knows precisely how far the surface is and how deep it goes. Those sticker markers are made with high precision, so you will get a repeatable result without worrying about the object's geometry. It's the most reliable way to scan accurately since nothing else interferes with the precision. Put it simply, if it sees markers, it will stay locked on. Infrared scanning works another way. The scanner throws out a bunch of tiny invisible dots and it figures out distance and depth from how packed those dots look. But honestly, it's not as sharp as using markers, especially for depth. That's why infrared scanners do better when they have got a bigger field of view. More feature in one shot means better tracking. The accuracy of infrared scanning depends entirely on the object's curves. If the surface has bends on both sides and plenty of pockets like this helmet, the tracking locks in nicely. But the catch is, precision isn't guaranteed. Even if you finish the scan, it can drift, and you never know exactly how far off it went. For objects about the size of a helmet or even bigger, like a full-face motorcycle helmet, you don't really need to stick markers on the surface. Just place it on the turntable and start scanning. That's why markerless scanning feels kind of pointless for desk-sized objects. Okay, here's a new tracking mode in Creality Scan 4.2. Let's try markerless scanning with this helmet. Infrared tracking should handle it easily, and with convex curves in both directions, the system should lock on with solid precision. The scanning speed drops from 90 frames per second to 30 frames per second, so markerless mode runs about 66% slower, and right now it only works with a cable, so Wi-Fi bridge isn't supported yet. For the Raptor series, Samoon X1 and Samoon P1, the firmware update will be rolling out soon. I'm not sure of the exact order, but honestly, if you stick around until the end of this video, there's nothing particularly exciting about the markerless feature. Pro-level 3D scanners sometimes use structured light for markerless scanning. The Artex Spider is a good example. Its field of view is so wide, it can't see the whole table, so it picks up more feature and tracks with much better accuracy. Scanners with a large field of view usually come with a hefty price tag, but even then, their precision and accuracy still fall short compared to marker-based scanning. This update also adds a clipping plane too. Instead of relying on marker dots, you can now pick points directly to define the plane. Alright, here are the results. Can you spot which one was done with markers and which wasn't? See the scans? You can't tell them apart. And honestly, Neither can I. Okay, so the right side is markerless and the left side is with markers. So when an object is packed with features and has a dual side curves, markerless scanning locks on and delivers identical results. Alright, let's check the point cloud quality. I'm going to slice both scans into a thin section. The scan on the left is markerless. You can see it produces a thin clean wall of points without noise, exactly the same quality as the marker-based scan. So this markerless mode is ideal for scanning organic sculptures or models packed with features. I'm scanning this keyboard now in infrared mode, medium size. Let's see how the tracking stacks up between NIR and markerless. This keyboard has a tall keycap profile, which might actually help with tracking. And finally, it lost tracking at this point. In fact, I have never been able to scan this keyboard successfully with infrared mode before. Okay, now I'm scanning in markerless mode. Let's see if it can track this keyboard. So it's still tracking at this spot. Here is a tip for markerless scanning. First, set the resolution to 0.25mm for optimum performance. Second, always watch your preview screen. If you see the scan start to wiggle, that means it's about to lose track. At that point, I stop and rescan with markers. Wiggle means lost precision, and you shouldn't continue even if tracking hasn't fully dropped. This scan shows some wiggle, which means the result won't be as sharp and clean as when I scan the helmet. And here's a scan result. It looks fine if you don't compare it directly, but I believe there's definitely some drifting alert present. Next, I will scan this low profile keyboard. It looks almost like a flat plane with only shallow 2mm protrusions. Surprisingly, it tracks even better than the high profile keyboard. That's because the crossline laser reaches beneath the keycaps, capturing more surface for reference. In conclusion, markerless mode tracks far better than NIR medium mode and consistently delivers superior results. However, precision and accuracy aren't guaranteed. It depends entirely on the object's shape. Your best strategy is to watch your wiggle in the preview screen. Here's the result. The thin profile keyboard produces a sharper scan than the high profile version since it captures more surface for alignment. Alright, moving on, let's try scanning this engine jacket with its cylindrical shape. Right at the spot where the features disappear, the scan begins to wiggle a lot. And finally, it produces ghosting on the mounting flange. So this type of symmetrical cylindrical shape can't be scanned reliably in the markerless mode. Next, let's try scanning this car dashboard. I previously scanned it last year using the S1 marker mode and NIR mode. After this, I will compare the results across all three modes. I noticed a wiggle during the scan, so I can already predict the output won't be as sharp as marker mode. In this chart, you can see the NIR light emitting during markerless scanning. And here's the result. The scan on the far right was captured in marker mode, and the one in the middle was captured in markerless mode. And it produced a less sharp result than the marker mode, especially noticeable along the edges. Still, it's way better than the NIR result, that one's over on the left. Trying to reverse from the NIR scan would give you a really hard time. In my opinion, if you are scanning for a commission project, always use marker mode. The time spent placing and removing markers is nothing compared to the time wasted remodeling parts in CAD and printing when they don't fit. Markerless scanning is just a buzzword some brands use. It never matches the accuracy of marker mode. They know people hate dealing with markers, so the word markerless makes you reach for your credit card. But the truth is, the results aren't reliable. Here is another example. I scanned a scooter headlight trim in markerless mode. The trim curves heavily in one direction but runs almost flat in the other. The laptop display was too far away, so I couldn't observe whether it was wiggling. Okay, let's look at the scan result of the headlight trim. On this side, it appears smooth and clean, but when I turn it around, a large misaligned gap becomes visible. That's the drifting error of the scan, maybe about 4 millimeters. When I tried scanning this motorcycle seat, it couldn't track. The field of view was too small to capture all the curves for proper lock-on. Surprisingly, I managed to scan this car seat without any wiggle, showing that reliability depends entirely on geometry. And the result came out pretty good. I can even see the stitching, something NIR scanning can capture. I also managed to scan the entire legroom with ease. When I tried scanning the inner side of a car bumper, it tracked well in the feature-rich area near the fog lamp mount, but as I moved further, tracking was lost. There is another new feature in this version worth mentioning: AI texture remapping. What it does is remap the colors you capture with a high-quality DSLR using the existing texture colors as a reference. You need to take photos covering all angles. For this example, I made 10 shots and dropped them in. Okay, here's the output result. It's actually worse than before remapping. The texture are misplaced. I think this feature isn't fully baked yet. Okay, so here's my review on Creality Scan 4.2. Thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.